me through their pigs and cows, but it worked. Our pride in the division got another boost when its Sergeant Major, Bill Wooldridge, was picked to become the first Sergeant Major of the Army. It seemed only natural to us that the job should go to a man from the 1st Division. In the fall, we jumped off on the biggest sweep of the war up to that time. It was Operation Attleboro, and it marked the second year of combat in Vietnam for the 1st Infantry Division. We moved back into Tay Ninh province for this one, determined to show the VC that we would strike them again and again in the same area. They tried to jump some of us, but we fought back with small arms till support came up. More men came streaming up on foot and on APCs. Fighter planes were busy. Artillery was flown in. The enemy was pounded around the clock. We took some losses, but medevac was there, Johnny on the spot, to take out our wounded. We took a sizable bag of prisoners, besides killing more than 800 of the VC. Around Christmas time, combat operations slowed down. Christmas in Vietnam. It was a little unreal in 100-degree heat, 10,000 miles from home. But one thing was genuine, the joy the kids had in Santa Claus, even if they weren't sure just who he was. We laid it on with a band. All the ice cream the kids could eat. They had a great time, and so did we. "1967 opened up with the biggest campaign of the war, Operation Cedar Falls in the Iron Triangle. This was a vast communist stronghold just 20 miles northwest of Saigon. The VC in the Triangle had always been a threat to Saigon. Now we were going to crush that threat. Cedar Falls was a multi-division affair, with 28 battalions committed. The entire triangle was surrounded to cut off escaping VC. Simultaneously, the main attack force struck deep inside the enemy stronghold. Much of the area is hostile jungle, so thick in places that the choppers couldn't land, and the men had to descend by trooper ladders. We pushed off into the jungle and found ourselves on some of the roughest terrain we'd ever come across. Thickets, vines, tall grass, water. Sometimes it was only wading deep, but many times we had to use a rope to get across. And there was mud, lots of it. Nonetheless, we kept moving and searching, sometimes without incident, and sometimes meeting resistance that brought on several firefights. To destroy the triangle as a Viet Cong sanctuary, we bulldozed broad stretches of jungle. Villagers were evacuated en masse. It would be a long time before the Viet Cong would find the Iron Triangle hospitable again. Big as Cedar Falls was, Operation Junction City was even bigger. Preparations were thorough and painstaking. We were going into an area called War Zone C to hunt for the main headquarters of the Viet Cong. A huge force was deployed in the form of a giant horseshoe, enclosing 250 square miles. 30,000 men were used to close the trap. At the beginning of Junction City, contact with the enemy was light, but then the tactic of deep patrolling paid off. The VC were lured repeatedly into attacking our advanced units with mortar and machine gun fire. Many small patrols held out against tremendous odds, while the enemy was pulverized by artillery. and repeated airstrikes. Many units and individuals distinguish themselves by their coolness and professional behavior under attack. Yet most of these soldiers had never been in battle before. Operation Junction City was a huge success for the 1st Infantry Division. In 4 major battle actions, the men of the Big Red One accounted for 1,100 of the 2,600 Viet Cong killed in this campaign.
The grind of war in Vietnam goes on for the 1st Division. Most of the men in this story have gone home, rotated out of combat. Those who have replaced them carry on with the same will to win, the same calm certainty of victory that marks every soldier of the 1st Infantry Division. Proud of an incomparable battle history, never shadowed by defeat, the man who wears the Big Red One knows he will live up to the division motto. No mission too difficult, no sacrifice too great. Duty first.